This is Lindsey Nelson with Paul Horning at the Cotton Bowl in Dallas. 1 quarter to go, and Houston is leading Notre Dame by a score of 34-12. Houston has the ball, second down, 9 yards to go. They have it at their own 12-yard line. Danny Davis has quarterbacked the Cougars throughout. He's been over in conference with his head coach Bill Yeoman, and he's joining the huddle just there. Willis Adams out to a wide left. Danny Davis keeps it and slips on the cut. Lee Johnson was there. He wanted to fall off inside, but footing is a little wary this afternoon. Gain of a yard on the play will make it 3rd down and 8 at the 13. The director of athletics at Notre Dame, of course, is Ed Moose Krause, and the director of athletics at Houston is Harry Falk. He's the only director of athletics they've had. 3rd and 8 at the 13. Over and back, no contact. Danny Davis back to the 12 as Mike Calhoun is hanging on to him. It'll be 3rd down and 9 at the 12-yard line. Jay Case also on the tackle. So it's a punting circumstance here. Jay Wyatt comes in to do the punting.
Now let's see what Mr. Wyatt can do against the wind. Notre Dame
Weimer
probably go after the kicker.
Fair catch signal goes up, and the fair catch is made by Harrison at the 38-yard line. So Notre Dame starts 1st and 10 at the Houston 38. A 26-yard punt into the wind. So it is 34-12, and Notre Dame has the ball. Notre Dame 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Montana turns and throws back, and it's incomplete. Haynes, the intended receiver. Gerald Cook covering on the corner. 2nd and 10 at the 39-yard line as you look at Montana.
Well, he was wide open, Lindsey, but Jose Taylor, number 90, a sophomore from Longview, as our cohort at CBS, George Allen says, a delivery sack.
Yes. Pete Pallas comes in at fullback. Vegas Ferguson's the tailback. Montana. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Maztak, but not very close. 3rd and 10 at the 39-yard line.
He'd like to slow up on that little rollout to his left and have time enough to plant his feet, Lindsey, to throw the football. There's his stats on the day, 7 out of 21 for 78. But the pressure defense making Joe throw the ball a little bit too quick.
Jerome Heavens back in at fullback on a 3rd and 10. Running backs a split for Montana. Intercepted at the 25-yard line. And returned to the 34.
David Hodge, number 42, one of the co-captains.
Great linebacker, picked it off.
He's going to be back next year, Lindsey. There you see David Hodge right there to the right of your screen. Montana drops back, trying to hit a turn-in pattern, and look at this interception. One-handed interception by David Hodge. Houston's ball.
It has been a cold and frustrating afternoon for head coach Dan Devine of the Fighting Irish. Love carrying, and he got it up to the 40-yard line as Jeff Weston came in to make the tackle, along with Mike Calhoun on the tackle.
That's quite a story right there. Turnovers, Notre Dame 6, Houston 3. And Houston has taken advantage of almost every one.
2nd down, 4 yards to go for the Cougars, who have dominated play in this Cotton Bowl game since the first quarter when Notre Dame took an early lead. King carried and was popped by Heimkreiter for no gain, so it'll be 3rd down and 4 yards to go at the 40-yard line.
He was hit by Heimkreiter. 3rd down.
Now, this is the first time that Notre Dame
To the 44-yard line, trying to get to the sticks, and it's very close. Jeff Weston on the tackle, along with Pete Johnson. As they spotted it, looks just inches short. And the punting unit comes in, Jay Wyatt. On a 4th and inches, Wyatt is in deep punt formation. Into the wind, and it's held up, but it gets a Houston roll across the 35, and it goes out of bounds at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10. For Notre Dame, they have the ball at their own 33. 23-yard punt. On Saturday, January 6th, for 3.5 hours, the new-look CBS Sports Spectacular premieres with the East-West Shrine football game.
And then it's a fight of the week with Roberto Duran and Monroe Brooks.
That's highlights of that fight and the Hollywood stunt competition, plus
the NFL Cheerleader Classic. How do they judge that?
I don't know.
Well, there'll be some pretty ladies there.
That's January 6th, the premiere of the action-packed new-look CBS Sports Spectacular. Don't miss it. Stacked up at the 34-yard line. Evans carried the ball, and he got about a yard on the play, so it'll be 2nd down. And 9 yards to go. Oglesby and David Hyde made the tackle. And Deeney is in there, a wide receiver. You saw Pete Palace just come into that huddle. Earl Evans is going off. And Deeney in a wide left. Montana pumps and rolls. And throws incomplete.
You throw it that hard on a day like this, it's so cold.
Ferguson.
It's very tough to hold on to the football. Look at him holding his right hand. His hands are, I'll guarantee you right now, frozen.
It'll be 3rd down and 9 yards to go. Notre Dame's ball at their 34, and there goes Vegas Ferguson off the field. Evans has come back in. Evans has carried the ball more times than any man in Notre Dame history in his career. Montana back. And that was incomplete. He gunned that one to his tight end, Mastak.
Flags down at the line of scrimmage.
Holding is indicated against Notre Dame.
I know Joe wants to fire it, Lindsey, but on a day like this, if he does have a receiver open, you should take something off of the football. Just make sure of the completion first, rather than trying to fire it to the open man, because it's just that much more difficult to catch the football.
They have declined the holding penalty to bring up 4th down, and that brings the Notre Dame punting unit onto the field. Pushka is coming in to do the punting. Donnie Love is dropped back with Linnell Fee to field the punt. They're in tandem. Houston is leading by a score of 34-12. Pushka bobbled in a moment, but regained control. Fair catch signal at the 21, taken there by Fee. It's 1st and 10 Houston at the Cougar 21-yard line. 45-yard punt. So we have 10 minutes, 48 seconds left to play in the game. Houston 34, Notre Dame 12. On a day like this, that is not a bad idea. 1st down and 10 yards to go for Houston. They have the ball on their own 21-yard line. Danny Davis still in there at quarterback. Rolls to the weak side and guns it incomplete. Intended for Willis Adams. It's be 2nd and 10 at the 21-yard line, and Randy Harrison was covering defensively. Joe Restic was injured in the first half. Normally Restic plays that free safety, and it's now being played by Randy Harrison. Here comes Hubert Miller into the huddle with the next play from the Houston sideline. Adams in a wide left. King there, and Heimkreider was there with Gramke. Gain of about a yard will make it 3rd down and 9 yards to go. Houston leading 34-12, and a victory in the Cotton Bowl over Notre Dame would be indeed a big one for the Cougars. They had a struggle, as we intimated once before, to get into the Southwest Conference, to get proper recognition. They used to try to get teams of national reputation on their schedule to get some attention to their football program. Well, they're getting a lot of it today. It's incomplete. Herring is holding it up, but the official over there said, no, he trapped it.
I think he caught it.
He may not know, being unable to feel it with the fingertips.
This is Eric Herring, the flanker. Roll out left, he comes back to the weak side. Herring is all alone down the right sideline. Well, I don't know. That's very, very close. It looked as if he got it to me.
Well, he's not going to argue the point. The punting unit is in with Jay Wyatt. Deep punt formation, and he bobbles it, picks it up, kicks it up into the air, partially blocked. Gets to the 22-yard line and is taken there. And so it will be Notre Dame's ball. There's a penalty marker. There's a penalty marker thrown out of bounds. That was Belden who took it. Well, the spot is being marked near the 20-yard line, and then we have a penalty to be considered.
I think it was Albert Newhouse, a cornerback for Houston. Let's check it out. That's it, Albert Newhouse, number 37, tackling out of bounds. Personal foul.
So that one will be enforced now by Pete Williams, the referee, and it will go half the distance down to the 10-yard line. The Notre Dame offense has been able to generate only 34 yards in the second half. It's at the 11-yard line. Well, tonight, the coach faces a star player been on dropping out of school on the White Shadow on CBS.
Then BJ plays Papa to a Korean family en masse. What a show that
Then there's One Day at a Time in Lou Grant. That's tonight's lineup on CBS. First down and 10 yards to go. The ball is on the 11-yard line of Houston in Notre Dame possession. Houston is leading by a score of 34-12. We have 9 minutes, 51 seconds left to play in this game. Notre Dame is reconvening the huddle, and over there they're trying to find a little heat. Motion across. Vegas Ferguson. Just inside the 10-yard line, and he's stopped by Bradham. Gain of a couple of yards will make it 2nd and 8 at the 9.
Put it up.
Here comes Pete Buchanan in there at fullback. Vegas Ferguson goes off, and they move Evans to tailback. Montana rolling. Grendinger incomplete in the end zone.
Well, tight ends have had trouble all day long. He slipped down there, or he could have caught that pass for the touch.
That will make it a 3rd and 8 at the 9-yard line. All bundled up.
This is Dallas, Texas.
Deep in the heart of Texas on New Year's Day.
I don't believe it.
There's little doubt that this is the coldest of all the Cotton Bowl games, which began in 1937. Third down and 8. The ball is just inside the 10-yard line, outside the 9. Montana short drop and rolls now. Stops and throws back. Incomplete. 4th down coming. A whole flock of red shirts there.
That was intended for number 25, Tommy Ebner, but he dropped it. It looked as if it was intended for the safety man, I'm sure.
Montana there now on 4th down. They go for it here with 9:07 remaining, and Houston leading 34-12. Little doubt of that. Palace is coming in for the next play. Buchanan goes off. Ball is on the 10-yard line. Contact made on the line of scrimmage, and markers are thrown.
losing all their concentration now, Lindsey. Jim Haltman jumps off sides, left guard position. Montana hasn't completed the pass in his last 9 attempts.
Procedure penalty against Notre Dame will cost them 5.
Well, they've got to throw it in the end zone.
It'll be 4th and 14 at the 15. Here comes Buchanan back in for Palace. Chris Haynes in a wide left. Pete Houlihan in a wide right for Joe Montana. Montana. Look for Haynes. He's covered, and he gets rid of it just barely.
There's Leonard Mitchell, number 70, the gentleman I was talking about in the first half, who plays basketball also for Houston. What an athlete. And he's quick, Lindsey.
So the ball goes over on downs. But there's a penalty marker to be checked out. Hold it. Downfield penalty marker. It's being reported now to the referee. Personal foul against Notre Dame.
A personal foul has been called against Notre Dame. This is a dead ball penalty. A 15-yard penalty will be assessed.
15 yards is marked off against the Irish, putting the ball out there at the 29-yard line. Dead ball foul.
Notre Dame gives it up.
They give it up on the dead ball foul. It is 1st and 10. Tomorrow night on CBS, The Incredible Journey and Dr. Meg Laurel. That was Delrick Brown in there at quarterback, throwing over to the sideline to Willis Adams. Incomplete.
Pass from Delrick Brown.
So Danny Davis is out of the ball game, and the backup quarterback Delrick Brown is in there. Tomorrow night, Lindsay Wagner stars in a 3-hour epic of courage and love, The Incredible Journey of Dr. Meg Laurel, the story of a beautiful young doctor who battles backwoods superstition to bring hope and comfort to a poverty-stricken land.
A great cast. Miss Jane Wyman, Andrew Duggan, and Gary Lockwood also star.
As a late pitch, taken by Emmett King. Bobby Leopold was there on the tackle at the 35-yard line.
There he is. Always one of them, right? He's got some antifreeze in him.
Yeah, he's not running on regular. It's 3rd down and 5 at the 35-yard line. Brown runs the option. And there's a pitch to Love. And Love is taken down at the 33-yard line. Jim Browner on the tackle. That'll bring up a 4th for Houston.
Emmett King has 76 yards and Love 71. And they've been content here now for the past 10 or 12 minutes just to sit on the lead.
They're leading 34-12. And Jay White is trying to keep his hands warm as he backs up there in deep punt formation to prepare to receive the snap. Waymer has dropped back deep for Notre Dame. Well, that one is blocked. And Notre Dame gets the football. That ball can be advanced, and it's being advanced right into the end zone, and it is taken in there for a touchdown. It was Steve Seachy.
Steve Seachy,
Fargo.
you can advance a block punt if it's caught in the air. So Notre Dame has its first touchdown since the first quarter. Here's the punt block right here. Watch Steve Seachy, comes up, catches it on the fly, and then breaks loose out of a few tackles and goes in for the first touchdown since the first quarter for Notre Dame.
Conversion attempt coming now for the Irish. 7 minutes, 25 seconds remaining to be played in this ball game. They're going to go for 2. Right now it's 34-18 with the conversion attempt coming, and rolling is Montana, and he throws, and it's gathered in for 2 points. Taken in the end zone for 2 points by Vegas Ferguson. And so the score is Houston 34, Notre Dame 20. Steve Seachy, who ran the block punt in for the touchdown for Notre Dame, a freshman from Fargo, will kick off, and dropping back Eddie Wright and Lonnell Fee to receive it for Houston. Fee at the 11-yard line to the 15, Fee to the 20, and he is stopped at the 24-yard line, where Houston gets the ball first down, 10 yards to go at their own 24.
Lindsay, we want to give credit to Tony Belden, the freshman for Notre Dame, who blocked the punt.
All right, we have 7 minutes, 18 seconds left to play in the game, and the quarterback coming in is Delrick Brown. He's a junior from Lufkin, Texas, 5'11", 160-pounder.
Yep. 2 series ago, if Notre Dame could have put some points on the board, this might have turned into an interesting last 5 or 6 minutes. They had it first 10 on the 11-yard line.
Brown still has it at the 30-yard line. Hamkrider hanging on to him. It's second down and 4 yards to go.
Notre Dame desperately trying to tackle the football now.
And this is an official's timeout for the injury. A Houston injury.
Chuck Brown is the Houston player, the attendant.
It's Chuck Brown, the center, who is down.
You know, we've had 5 block punts today. 3 actual block punts and 2 partial blocks. Chuck Brown, who's really done a fine job, one of the captains there, a senior, Missouri City, Texas, really done a fine job for Houston.
Holding his arm immobile as he comes off the field. Chuck Brown there. It is second and 4 for Houston. They have the ball at the 30.
Did you guess that he's a weightlifter?
That's Love, Gary, and he gets it to the 33-yard line. Mike Calhoun made the tackle. It's a little short of first down yardage. It'll be third and about 1. Heimkreider was there also. About 2 yards to go. Third and about 2 as they spot it. Delrick Brown brings the Cougars up. King.
A little short.
He is a little short. It'll be fourth down, about a yard to go. Here's a final score. Alabama has defeated Penn State by a final score of 14-7. Punting units coming on, and Jay Wyatt will do the kicking. That's Waymer dropping back for Notre Dame.
Waymer is the lead man for Notre Dame.
Well, that's some kind of snap. We got it off. Hits at the 45. Rolls inside the 40-yard line. Call it 39, first and 10. A 26-yard punt. So Notre Dame gets it in their own territory. The final we just gave you is being announced on the public address system to the fans here at the Cotton Bowl now. The Alabama victory over Penn State. Penn State, of course, went undefeated during the regular season. Alabama lost 1 game. They lost that one to Southern Cal. 5 minutes, 37 seconds left to play here. Montana on the money this time, completes it. Inside the 45-yard line to Dean Mazdak, the freshman tight end. First down and 10 yards to go. Elvis Bradley made the tackle.
16-yard pickup. Notre Dame trying desperately to get 1, go for 2, and come back with the onside kick. Dean Mazdak, the big freshman, 6'4", 230.
It's Jerome Evans moving over into a left set. Montana going to Evans. He's got it. Evans is out of bounds at the 14-yard line, where it's another 1st and 10 for Notre Dame.
Now Montana's getting hot. He's called the comeback kid. He's done this before down the sidelines. Jerome Evans makes a good over-the-shoulder catch, and he's out of bounds. 30-yard pickup on the pass.
Notre Dame 1st and 10. Houston's leading 34-20 in this game. Montana throws on the run, incomplete, trying to get it to Houlihan. There's a penalty marker thrown at the 2-yard line.
Montana rolling out right, trying to get it to Houlihan on the square out pattern, Lindsey. It was Gerald Cook, number 10. Right here, Cook comes over the body.
Interference call makes it 1st down and goal to go. Notre Dame at the 2-yard line.
It's thinking back again, reiterating that thought that Notre Dame had it at the football 1st and 10 on about the 11-yard line. They didn't get a point.
They spotted on the 3-yard line. Hale back, and he's stacked up about the 2. Well, it'll be 2nd down and goal to go. Vegas Ferguson carried Kenny Hatfield, and Sam Proctor came to make the stop. Dan Devine walked across the way.
Now they should get in and out of the huddle as quickly as possible, Lindsey. This is what sometimes befuddles me about football teams. They take almost 20 or 30 seconds. You should call your play and get up to the line of scrimmage as quickly as possible.
Goal to go. Evans stopped outside the 1 by David Hodge, the linebacker. It'll be 3rd down and goal to go.
Notre Dame wants timeout.
They do. Notre Dame wants to talk it over. So they stop the clock with 4 minutes, 22 seconds left to play in the game. And Houston is leading by a score of 34-20 when play is resumed. Notre Dame has the ball 3rd down and goal to go outside the 1-yard line. That's Joe Montana bringing the Irish up 3rd down and goal to go inside the 2-yard line of Houston. Montana's rolling. He's going to try to take it in, and he's got it. Touchdown, Montana. Notre Dame is on the board.
Joe's still down. He really had great determination, Lindsey, to get over the end zone. Montana on a rollout left. Option runner pass right here. You see the receivers trying to maneuver free in the end zone. Montana makes his mind up right here to get it into the end zone, and he does. So don't go away. This could be quite a finish.
34-26. There's Joe Montana. Notre Dame has just had a huddle along the sideline to determine what they're going to do now with a conversion attempt coming.
Well, they come back this far. They got to go for 2.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to go for 2. There's 8 points differential right now. Montana's the quarterback. Rolls, and he's going to try to get to the flag. Now throws, and it's good for 2 points. He hit Haynes. He found Chris Haynes, his favorite pass receiver, and gunned it right in there. So Notre Dame picked up 2 on the conversion. The score is Houston 34, Notre Dame 28. 4 minutes, 15 seconds left to play. Ball, Steve Seachy's teeing the ball up.
Well, Houston is up there expecting an onside kickoff, Lindsey, but there's plenty of time left, 4 minutes and 15 seconds. And I think the best thing to do, if Seachy can get a hold of it, if he kicks it in the end zone. Of course, he's not a long kicker. They missed Chuck Mayo in this position right here. There's plenty of time. I think the most important thing, since they've blocked the last 2 punts, is to keep Houston deep in their own territory.
Gonna let Belden hold it for him now. An indication, I should think, that he's going to try to get it far downfield. 4 minutes, 15 seconds left to play. Houston's leading 34-28. That's a 6-point margin. Here comes Steve Seachy. And it is a touchback taken in the end zone by Eddie Wright. It'll be brought out and put in play by Houston. 1st and 10. They have the ball at their own 20-yard line.
Well, Houston sat on that lead. They built up a 34-12 lead, only to see the 4th quarter win make a difference. And Notre Dame with a few breaks, a couple blocked punts, and they're right back in it.
And here comes Danny Davis in there to run the attack. Delrick Brown had relieved Davis earlier, but now it's Davis back in action since the lead has shrunk to 6 points.
Now Houston must very definitely guard against a turnover, Lindsey. The first group is back in.
And as a pitch to Love at the 20, 25, penalty markers thrown. Randy Harrison made the tackle. But there's a marker to be checked out. And it is holding against Houston. There were some observers saying before this ball game that the Cotton Bowl should be one of the most exciting of all the ball games because there might be 50 points scored. There have been 62 points scored, and we may not be through yet. There's the penalty mark off now against the Houston Cougars.
And that tightens up things as far as Bill Yeomans is concerned. He had a first down. They got outside. Only to be penalized half the distance to the goal line, holding.
First and 18 at the 12-yard line for the Cougars. Danny Davis brings them up. Close to the right side. Davis gonna run it. Slips down. At the 18-yard line, he picked up 6. It'll be second down and 12.
He also stayed in bounds, Lindsey. That clock, as you see in the inset, is still running.
Waymer and Pete Johnson were there. And the clock runs on with Houston leading 34-28.
Need a couple of first downs, and Houston will have won their second Cotton Bowl in only 2 appearances. And Danny Davis at the controls of both wins, but Notre Dame here needs the football.
Davis going to a high count. Gives it to King. King struggles out to the 23-yard line where Steve Heimkreider and Mike Calhoun close him off. A gain of 5 yards will make it 3rd and 7. And here comes Hubert Miller in with the next play for the Cougars from Bill Yeoman. We have 2 minutes, 59 seconds left to play in this game. The Fighting Irish want the football. Houston wants to hold on to it, pick up the first down if they possibly can, and then run it out. They're leading by a score of 34-28. Dan Devine along the sideline. 3rd down and 7 yards to go. Andy Davis. Incomplete. Incomplete. Tried to get it to Willis Adams. Dave Waymer covered, and that'll make it a 4th down.
Adams had it momentarily, but that young man, number 34, Dave Waymer, broke it up.
So now Houston has to give it up as the punting unit comes in.
They blocked the last 2 punts.
Jay Wyatt. Back there you saw Waymer deep for Notre Dame.
They'll try to block the punt, and if it's a high punt, if it gets it
Rolls
off.
it back. The center rolled it back. Ball hits up at the 40 to the 45. Takes a Houston bounce to the 50. Waymer dives on it at the 49-yard line of Houston. Notre Dame gets the ball in Houston territory. 1st and 10, a 28-yard punt.
Very touchy. Waymer falling on that football. If he didn't get it, it would have been ruled a fumble. 26-yard punt. Got a good roll.
So now Notre Dame trails by 6 points. 2 minutes, 25 seconds remain to be played in the game. The Irish with the ball 1st and 10 at the Houston 49-yard line.
Joe Montana was a sophomore. This happened 4 times. He brought Notre Dame's back.
Turn out, and it's complete to Haynes. Chris Haynes simply moves it to the 43-yard line. Picked up 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 4. Tommy Ebner was there on the tackle for Houston. There's little doubt that the wind has been a big factor in this game. It has been the team that has had the wind to its advantage that has done best in this football game here this afternoon.
There's only been 1 touchdown scored against the wind, and that was because of a turnover in Notre Dame early in the first half.
2nd down and 4 yards to go. Montana, penalty marker is dropped at the line of scrimmage. Montana knocked off his feet at the 50-yard line, but there's a marker.
Good coverage that time by Houston. Everybody was covered. Montana had to eat the football.
Get a preliminary signal here. Illegal motion against Notre Dame. Decline. Loss of 7 on the play.
Got 2 downs to pick up 11 yards.
3rd and 11. Buchanan is brought in the next play. Montana brings them up. Montana. And it is complete. Taken by Houlihan.
And that's enough for the first down, Lindsey.
It's a
Needed
first and
11.
10. First down and 10 yards to go, and it is near the 36-yard line.
Nice concentration by the freshman, Pete Houlihan. 6'4", 215 pounds. It's going to be a great one before he's finished. A 14-yard pickup on the sideline pattern. Right there, Houlihan's got it, steps out of bounds to stop the clock.
Houlihan is a sophomore from Liverpool, New York. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. Montana's going to run it. He's at the 30-yard line. Drops the ball. The scramble is on. And Houston got the ball.
Montana had the first down, Lindsey, trying to run the football. He got hit from the blind side. He hit his arm. He dropped the football. Let's take a look. Here it is. He wants to throw the football. Right up the middle is a gaping hole. Now watch, he's got the football in one hand and he gets hit there. He didn't get hit too hard, but on the right elbow, and he coughs up the football.
Tommy Ebner came out of the stack with the football when it was finally unstacked, and it is 1st and 10 now at the 20-yard line for Houston. 1 minute, 50 seconds left to play. The 7th turnover for Notre Dame, 4 interceptions and 3 fumbles. 1st and 10 for Houston. Well, they try Love, and he is stopped at the 18-yard line for a loss of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 12 yards to go. Gramke, along with Pete Johnson, made the stop. Bob Golick was injured in the first half of this ball game, and now we get a timeout signal. And it is timeout Notre Dame to stop the clock with 1 minute, 38 seconds left to play in the game.
Almost a miracle comeback. Montana had the first down.
He had it, and that is Montana there being consoled by some of his teammates. He had run for enough yardage, but the ball was shaken loose. Houston recovered, and Houston leads 34-28 with 1 minute, 38 seconds left. Notre Dame has 1 timeout left. When play is resumed, they have it 2nd down. Houston does. 12 yards to go at their own 18. It's been a strange football game here in this Cotton Bowl, as Notre Dame dominated the first quarter of play. And then Houston came back and dominated the 2nd and 3rd quarters and part of the 4th, and then Notre Dame came with a flurry here in the 4th quarter.
Seemed as if whoever had to win, Lindsey, put points on the board.
That's exactly what they did. And the cold weather caused a number of turnovers, as it was impossible to handle the ball. The last 2 snaps from center back there in punt formation of Houston have been rather strange, but they managed to get them off. And now here comes Danny Davis. And that'll run the attack for the Cougars. King tries it.
He is dropped for a loss by Heimkreider and Case.
Heimkreider
A loss back to
and Case there on the tackle. Spotted at the 16-yard line. Loss of 2 will make it 3rd down and 14.
And they'll have a chance to block the punt, Lindsey.
We want to thank the people from Notre Dame, President Theodore M. Hesberg, Executive Vice President Reverend Edmund P. Joyce, the Director of Athletics Moose Krause, the Sports Information Director Roger Baldessari, Head Coach Dan Devine and his staff. Rolling is Davis. Gets it out there to the 24-yard line. We have 45 seconds left to play in this game as Notre Dame calls another timeout. Heimkreider on the tackle. Notre Dame has stopped the clock. Let's go down now to Frank Lieber along the sideline.
Everybody here on the Houston bench is scared to death, as a matter of remembering what happened against Southern Cal, most people seem to think that the wind has certainly been the big factor this afternoon. The team that has had the win has done well in each quarter that they have had it. Still not over, though.
All right, Frank, it's Jay White who'll be going to deep punt formation. We want to thank the University of Houston President Dr. Philip G. Hoffman, Chancellor Barry Munitz, Director of Athletics Harry Falk, Sports Information Director Ted Nance, Head Coach Bill Yeoman and his staff. Our thanks to the Cotton Bowl Athletic Association, Chairman of the Board Buddy Dyke, President John P. Thompson, First Vice President John F. Scoble, Second Vice President J. L. Huffines, Executive Vice President Jim Brock, Administrative Assistant Susan Stokes, Director of Information Wilbur Evans, Director of Press Hospitality Arnold Hayes, Director of Pageantry Harry Barton. Our thanks to all for making our stay in Dallas, Texas at this Cotton Bowl game so very pleasant. Now, back in deep punt formation goes Jay Wyatt. Weimer is deep for Notre Dame, standing at the 50-yard line. 46 seconds left to play in the game. Houston's leading 34-28. The snap. Got it off under a heavy rush.
Notre Dame was offsides.
It is rolling along the 45-yard line of Houston. Penalty markers are down.
And the ball rolls in at the 45-yard line. A flag is down on the play.
It will not be a first down. It was 4th down and 6.
It was 4th and 6. Offsides against Notre Dame.
Quite a decision for Bill Yeomans here. Whether he wants to try another punt or whether...
Dan Devine peering onto the field.
The preliminary signal given was
Do you want to
against Notre Dame.
make it 4th and 1 and punt it again with a 5-yard advantage, or do you want to let it stand up there at the 45-yard line?
Well, I don't know. Notre Dame is out of timeouts. Number 2 thought to take into consideration. They've already blocked 2 punts.
I think we ought to point out, we know that Bill's name is Yeoman. We know there's no S. We just try to give him a few extra letters from time to time, do all we can for him.
He's a great man, a great sense of humor, and the kids love him.
One of the outstanding football coaches in this country, 17 years at the University of Houston. Well, they're going to mark off the penalty here now. And they're going to send Danny Davis back out there. It's going to be 4th down and about a foot to go, and they're going to go for it, I think.
They're afraid of getting the punt block or a bad snap from center.
35 seconds on the clock. 35 seconds. It is 4th down and about a foot to go. Houston has the ball at the 29-yard line. And they're going to go for it as Danny Davis comes out there. Houston is leading 34-28. 35 seconds left to play in the Cotton Bowl game.
I don't think he got it.
I don't think he did either. King took the handoff and hit in there. The Notre Dame players don't think he did, but they're not the officials, so they'll spot the ball and then take the look. Notre Dame takes the ball on downs. It's at the 29-yard line of Houston. So the Irish come up there. They have no timeouts remaining. They are up there ready to go as soon as the ball is marked ready for play, and then the clock will start. 28 seconds left to play in the game. Houston leading 34-28. That's a margin of 6 points. Montana. Well, he'll have to get it to the sidelines, and he goes across the sideline marker, but the spot is being marked up there at the 18. It is a first down for Notre Dame.
And that'll stop the clock, Lindsey. In college football, the clock does stop.
Right. 15 seconds. Notre Dame is ready to go 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. Montana pops this one, and it's Chris Haynes. Shouldering inside the 10-yard line and down to the 8.
What a finish.
What a finish at the Cotton Bowl. The clock says 6 seconds left to play in the game. First down for Notre Dame, and goal to go at the Houston 8-yard line.
This should be it, Lindsey. Time for one play, and if they're very lucky on a very quick release, they might get 2, but I doubt it very much.
Houston called the timeout. And now Montana goes over to talk to Dan Devine.
Well, he called the timeout. Haynes did get out of bounds and stop the clock anyway. Houston wanted to go over their defensive alignment here, and Montana, likewise, talking to Dan Devine over there. They've got time for 1, and if they're lucky, 2.
So it's all come down to this. The Houston Cougars 34, the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame 28. 6 seconds left on the clock in this, the 43rd annual Cotton Bowl game in Dallas, Texas. Montana, who played the first half, then did not come out after the halftime intermission, and the report from the team physician was that he had become chilled and was running a slight temperature because of the weather conditions. Then came out to relieve Tim Cagle, who had relieved him, and Montana has sparked the surge of Notre Dame here in the closing moments. Houston, a stout defense during the season and a stout defense at times here this afternoon. And they're trying to throw it up here now at a 1st and goal at the 8-yard line with 6 seconds left to play. Montana, incomplete.
3 seconds
to Haynes. 3 seconds, 2 seconds on the clock. 2 seconds left on the clock. 2nd and goal at the 8. Now Montana is looking over to the sideline to get his next play. Irv Johnson. Dan Devine over there.
Well, you couldn't want a better finish.
Could not possibly. 2 seconds left to play. Clock will start on the snap. Houston 34, Notre Dame 28. Montana going. And it's a touchdown.
Haynes.
A touchdown taken at the corner.
Unbelievable finish. Houston on top 34-12, and now it's all tied up 34 apiece. Was it in bounds or not? It was ruled a touchdown.
Touchdown.
Montana to Chris Haynes. Let's see if we can pick it up. Let's catch the camera angle here. The back goes out of the backfield. Montana on the sidelines, and from our vantage point, we can't tell where the feet. In college football, you only have to have 1 foot in.
Notre Dame has scored the touchdown.
Right here, Lindsey. There's a couple of Houston people just in the camera angle. Haynes caught the football, and here comes the all-important extra point.
It's tied 34-34. Joe Eunice in to attempt. It's up, and it's good. Joe Eunice from Dallas, Texas, kicked the extra point, and the game is over. Notre Dame has won it 35-34.
What a finish, Lindsey. I've never seen anything like it. Notre Dame completely dead, came back in the 4th quarter to win it by 1.
Notre Dame has won it 35-34 as Joe Eunice kicked the untying point. He is a native of Dallas, Texas. What a finish it was.
There's still controversy down there, Lindsey.
Well, there's controversy, but this 43rd annual Cotton Bowl is history. Offensive fireworks. Many had said this would be the game that would have the most exciting time of all, and it certainly was that. Although there still is confusion on the field. That is Dan Devine, the head coach of the Fighting Irish, but they have begun to scatter now. However, the teams are still along the sidelines. Nobody is headed out anymore, and perhaps there was a penalty on the conversion.
Maybe not enough people on the field. Looks as if Notre Dame's going to line up for another extra point.
And having been penalized. Notre Dame has been penalized, and so they're going to try another conversion. It's still tied, as you were. It's still tied 34-34.
5-yard penalty.
5-yard penalty against Notre Dame, and Eunice again. We'll have Knaffel holding for him.
What pressure.
Knaffel will hold, and Joe Eunice will have to try to do it again. It's down, Eunice kicks it, and it is good. Now Notre Dame has won the football game, 35-34, having to do it a second time, having sustained a 5-yard penalty. Anything you want to say?
I don't know what to say, Lindsey. Houston's got to be just unbelievably heartbroken over this loss. They were coasting along only to see Notre Dame come back, and Montana has done it again.
He has, in fact. Joe Montana has brought them from behind. So now, this is Lindsey Nelson from Paul Horning and Frank Lieber saying so long from the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, Texas, and from all of us to all of you, a very happy New Year.
The 1979 Cotton Bowl Classic has been sponsored by the General Motors Parts Division. Budweiser, the king of beers. When you say Budweiser, you've said it all. And by Buick and its dealers, who invite you to see the new Buicks during their holiday get-together. The 1979 Cotton Bowl Classic has been a presentation of CBS Sports.